Right whales are a migratory species that come to northeast Florida and coastal Georgia every winter time. There's a number of reasons they come, but this is the primary calving ground for North Atlantic right whales. So this is the only place that we know of where right whales come to give birth. And so it's a very important place, and it's the reason that we have such a focused scientific effort here for this endangered species. Their numbers were severely reduced by whaling. The right whale was useful in whaling days for blubber, oil, and baleen. Now, of course, there's been no whaling for a long time, and right whales were reduced severely. There may be 350 to 400 right whales left in the western North Atlantic. But their number, in part because of the protections in the calving ground, their numbers are slightly growing, maybe of late 2% per year. Our field program is divided into 4 or 5 aspects. We're interested in flying in an airplane back and forth across the ocean to count the number of whales that we see and to determine the number of calves that are born each year. Knowing how many calves are born is, of course, very important with tracking this endangered species. Another thing that we're doing is, unfortunately, sometimes when the whales are here, some die. And there's a stranding program that's involved investigating the carcass of an animal that may die and wash up on the beach. Or it may die at sea and we may find it and actually tow it to the beach so that we can examine it and determine why it died. The things that we do is collect the small piece of skin, the genetic sample that allows us to track maternity and paternity in this group of whales. And another thing that we do is what we call photo ID, and that's because the head of the right whale is unique to each individual. The photo identification of right whales allows researchers to individualize the whale, tell one from another, and that's critical. But it would not mean much if there wasn't a catalog where the photos go and the data behind the catalog. And fortunately, in the case of right whales, there's an excellent catalog. It's curated by folks at the New England Aquarium in Boston, Massachusetts, in the US. And it's very extensive, very well organized, and it's also available online. So photographs of right whales are sent to the curator of the catalog. They make their way into the catalog. They're matched. Over time, the history of that particular whale, which is, right whales are a long-lived species. So the history of that whale is all the milestones of its life are in the catalog. And many of these whales will outlive the researchers who are studying them. So it's been in place for a good number of years, and it hopefully will continue on.